Hello friends, how you doing? Day 761. Hope you're doing amazing and brought in the new year in a safe and fun and amazing way. So today is January 1st, 2023. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, it's a new year. Woo! I'm excited, that's for sure. Um, you know, New year gives an opportunity for new beginnings. And so, whatever happened in 2022, good and bad, you know what? It's already passed. And so, you can draw a line right now and then focus on 2023. But before we head on to 2023, what I like to do is kind of look back at the year. And so I was on a video call a couple of nights ago, and there were some reflection questions that my mentors had thrown out to people to kind of just reflect on. And so I'm going to share some of them with you and then share a couple of the answers that I came up for myself. But I would definitely encourage you to jot them down yourself and ask yourself those same questions. Because really, the only way you can improve your life is if you can understand yourself better. And so sometimes we may not consciously know some of our underlying beliefs. Maybe, you think you're not good enough, you're not worthy, or what have you, and then you may not want to look at yourself and look at your dark places, the dark areas, if you will, in your life. However, the only way you can overcome it is by bringing the things that you think are dark into the light so that you can actually expose them and actually be able to deal with them. Okay? Ignore them does not make them go away. And so I would definitely encourage you, just ask yourself these same questions and ask yourself, how was the last year? And then, do you want this upcoming year to be the same as last year? Or do you want better, more, or different, right? That only you can answer that. And so some of the questions, okay, so to reflect on last year, okay, here's a question for you to think about. What am I proud of? And anytime I do a coaching session or whatever, chat with people about, the future, right? I always like to start off with something positive, okay? Because we all want to feel good about ourselves, don't we? So I always encourage you to start with something positive. So first question, what am I proud of? And so for me, I wrote down a few things. Number one, I'm still doing this live video challenge. Yay, good for me. Day 761. Number two is fulfilling my event obligations. And so during my busy season, oh my gosh, I was so stressed. People were dropping like flies, getting sick, and calling to work. Oh my gosh. And I just kept trying to find people to replace, but I was able to fulfill them. And so I'm very proud of myself for being able to do that. And at the time, I was studying the spoken word. So I only spoke what I wanted. So I talked about, making sure that, I will find enough people, I will fulfill my obligations. And people said, well, what if you don't? I'm like, that is not an option. It will happen. And so, very proud of myself for number one, speaking is this, but number two, putting the work and effort to actually make that happen. And then number three, what am I proud of? Who I'm becoming. As corny as it sounds, I feel and I believe that I'm a better person today than I was a year ago. And I hope that you can say the same thing for yourself. And if not, that's okay as well. Draw a line in the sand, start this year, and just day by day. One day, 1 foot at a time, take a small step to make yourself better, okay? If any of you ever want to chat about that, shoot me a message. I'd love to be able to support you. Okay, second question. What held me back? Woo! Okay, so for me, I put down lack of focus and too spread out with too many commitments. And so, when I take on too many things, my energy is split up in different areas, and it's hard to actually really kill it in any one area. And so for me, I believe that's one thing that held me back in terms of becoming my best self. Question number three, what did I learn? Now this is a great question. Okay, I think this is a very important question actually, because sometimes I think we kind of get caught up in the day to day, and if you don't look back to see what you learned, then you may not actually give yourself enough credit on the growth that you actually had this past year. Okay, so what did I learn? Well, it's kind of in line with the last one, is that I need to focus more, and And also, you know what? I need to surround myself with other like-minded people and like-valued people. Other people who want to move forward in life because of the power of association. Okay, whoever you are is roughly the average of the 5 closest people to you. So, you know, what does your relationship look like? Whether you're boyfriend, girlfriend, or marriage, how are your finances looking like? How's your health, right? Most likely is the average of the 5 closest people to you, right? That's the power of association. And so I need to continue to surround myself with people who want more in their life, and are willing to support others. Because, you know, every time I'm around a community like that, oh my gosh, I feel so uplifted. And so I need to continue to surround myself with that. Okay, and then question about the present. How am I making a difference? For me, I like to think and I hope that I'm making a difference with these videos. I had a friend, I bumped into a friend, and he said, "Oh, I like your videos. Oh, cool. Like which ones?" And he actually shared with me when I was going through something. I think losing somebody, and he said that he had lost somebody close to that time, and just hearing my experience helped him kind of get through that. And so I was like, "Oh, I'm glad." I'm like, "Thank you for sharing." I'm like, you know, I'm just sharing a piece of me that, you know, we all go through stuff in life, right? Positive and negative, right? It's part of being human. And I think sometimes when we're going through a hard time, it's nice to know that we're not alone. And so I'm hoping that these live videos are making a difference in your life, adding some positivity, maybe some humor, maybe something you never knew. I don't know. But hopefully. And second thing is, how am I making a difference? For me, I try to be as authentic as possible, just be raw and real, and hopefully it allows people to accept themselves for themselves. Because I know I had a challenge with that on my journey, but you know, once I did enough work, I was able to accept myself for me, and just share with all of you freely. And I'm hoping for all of you guys, because there's such an amazing sense of freedom when you can just be yourself and not worry too much about what other people think. And then the third part is the new year. So next year, 2023, what type of questions? These questions to help you think on that. So number one, am I willing to pay the price? So whatever your goals are, maybe it is business, maybe it's finance, relationship, health, whatever it is. But whatever your goal is, are you willing to pay the price? And you have to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. When I looked at this, I gotta say, I want to say yes emphatically, but the truth is I'm getting there and I'm working on it, and I am. And so that's why those things that I told you about before, getting around the right people, I have to reestablish those relationships with the communities and hunt them down. Really is what I need to do. So second question, what's the most important thing for you to do? Okay, so for me, it's something called core. It's just my daily success habits. Okay, so whatever it is for you, you got to figure that out, and depending on what area of life. Okay. But typically, the 3 most common areas of a person's life that they want better around the New Year's is their finances, their relationships, and their health. Right? Those are the 3 main areas. So whatever that is for you, you gotta ask yourself, what's the most important thing you can do in that area for you to move forward? Okay. And then number 3, what do I need to change? Okay. So for me, it's my intention, increasing my work habit, my intensity, and my mindset. Okay, and like I shared before, my association. So getting around the right people. And lastly, the last question, and I've done this sporadically, not every other year or so, but what is your one word for the year? Okay, so it's basically one word that you can just simplify it so that you can actually focus on. And for me, it's intention / focus. Because like I said before, was one of the main things I believe held me back. I was just too spread out. I was committed to too many organizations, communities, things, events, people, stuff, and so it just pulled me in too many directions. And so for me this year, my word is intention, okay, and focus, basically. So that's my reflection session for today. I'm having another one in a few more days, actually, with another group. But I thought I'd just come in and share with you my first session. And again, you gotta put in the work, my friends. It may not be easy, especially if you've never done it before. Asked yourself these questions, but I can't say I guarantee, but I believe that it will help you immensely in making 2023 your best year yet. Okay, friends, I love you all. Hope you're doing amazing and still sticking to your resolutions. Have a great night, my friends. Bye bye.